All right. Welcome, family, to another show. Man, we got a great show lined up for you guys today. The title, Why They Hate to See Us Go. The Revenge of the Cleanup Man. All right. So stay tuned, fellas. We're going to be live right back in a second.
No matter where I go, no matter where I be. We'll be rocking it like that, man. I love the fit of this shirt, bro.
Bro, look, I just have to get out the elevator. Look at it. The BMT shirt on. You know, we representing all the way in Thailand, man.
What's up, y'all? It's the Travel OG, and I got to do my BMT commercial, man, for my BMT shirt, man. This shirt is so dope, man. It shows off your guns, fits your muscles, gives you room at the bottom for the belly, and then you're repping the BMT brand, man. So make sure y'all pick up that BMT shirt because it's fire. It looks good. He got them in different colors, and I'm telling y'all, man, the fit, it ain't that cheap. It's a real quality shirt, man. I love it, BMT. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for blessing me with the shirt. And I'll see you on the other side. You dig?
Fellas, don't forget to check out the Black Man Travels merch store where you can purchase BMT t-shirts, tank tops, travel quote tees, and much more.
Foreign girl. Hey, hey. I'ma go overseas and get me a foreign girl. Hey, hey.
Y'all be going over there lying to them women overseas. Them women look at y'all and see the suits, they see the sneakers, they see the money that you're pulling out.
You do not need to leave the country to get women. And it doesn't matter what you're looking for. It doesn't matter if you're looking for submission. It doesn't matter if you're looking for love. It doesn't even matter if you're just looking for V-Box. You do not need to leave the country for any of that. I'm tired of dudes saying, oh, you gotta go and leave the country because the women over there are better. They're better at what?
It says, I have a condo in the Dominican Republic and my main woman lives there with her 2 children. I am 60, very fit and wealthy. I have a rotation of super hot women in other the South American countries. My male friends are completely done with USA women, forever done. This pic with her. Hell nah.
These videos, right, of these men who's apparently getting their passports and they're leaving. They going elsewhere to find their wives because they can't put up with us. I'm just wondering who the hell asked them? Did we ask them? Why do they feel the need to announce their departure? We don't want to know. We don't care. In fact, we're happy for you. We'll help you pack. If you're doing that, it screams cowardly to me.
But these dudes want to tell you, you got to go to Zamunda to get some V-Box. These dudes want to tell you, you got to go to Wakanda to find a submissive woman.
Just to let you know that even though, yes, they may be nicer, yes, they may be more submissive and prettier, but they're going to look up to you to be the main provider for her whole family.
And you're making it seem like you are a basketball player, you are an athlete, because most of the black men that they see are athletes, actors, singers. That's pretty much what they see. So when you come over there, you're making them believe that you have money.
No, let me say this to all the passport bros. For all you, look at the camera. For all you claiming you're going to the Brazil, DR, Colombia, and the Philippines, chicks, show us proof that the pharmacists, the pediatricians, the professionals got money. Y'all ain't fucking them because they ain't with you.
Right. Y'all even running off the white men? Oh, I know you.
Could have got like some. You could have got some training. You could have got training with. You could have got training from all of us.
Exactly. For 20 racks.
For that type of money.
For 20 racks, flew to your state. I'd have took you around, nigga. We'd have been back, nigga. This is.
I'm going to go overseas and get me a...
All right. Man, more and more plantation babble. All right, we're getting it from both sides here, guys. We're getting it from some of the women. A lot of you got a lot of hating from the guys, of course, and then you're getting from the PUAs as well. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna chop up about it. Don't worry. I think the video I played was absorbing just a little bit. I want to give a shout out to Yes Jonas too. That some of them clips actually came from his TikTok. So shout out to my boy Yes Jonas as well. But we're going to discuss it. I'm going to play that video again before I bring on the panel. So we here, guys. Let's see who's all in the room, man. We got my boy Yogi in the building. Yeah, can you live? That's the question. We're going to have a good discussion today, man. We're going to have a very good discussion today. Because the original title for the video that I was going to do was, are black men allowed to have standards? That was the original video. Then I switched it up. We're going to talk about that. All right. Follow Mike Singletary. What up? H in the building. Randall said these clowns. Yeah, man. More goofies. Yeah. Hey, it's all return fire, bro. We're not really worried about them. We just want to set the record straight. We got this propaganda machine going against the passport brothers right now, coming from all angles. So that's why these videos, man, just to set the record straight and give you guys the good information, the information that you need on becoming a global citizen. Also, the benefits of becoming a global citizen, especially for a black man in the West. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to definitely chop it up about it, man. I don't know why everybody's up in orange with a black man with a passport. They hate to see us go. Very interesting, right? Why is that, though? We're going to chop it up about it. The day coaches can go play in traffic blindfolded. Yeah, they hating, man. What's interesting to me is I'm pretty sure that the majority of people that you saw in these videos don't have passports. So they're speaking nonsense, basically, more so ignorance. I'm going to also play a little snippet of a video breakdown of a guy called the Alpha Villain. Now, I emailed this guy to see if he wanted to come on and do a friendly debate. He hasn't got back with me yet. I believe he's new in the space. When I originally played the video, it was from a sister called On the Block with Jen, a Puerto Rican chick, and he was on her panel. I didn't realize that this guy was actually a relationship PUA coach. So I looked further, into some of his videos. I'm like, wow, okay, so she's interviewing PUA coaches about passport bros. Very interesting dynamic or angle that she took there. So we're going to play a little bit of this video as well. And what these guys doing right now is this big ass exposure moment. They're trying to expose passport bros, right? With that one narrative that is all about the women. We're going overseas for the women. The women are poor, destitute, taking advantage of the women. All the women are prostitutes. They just want green cards. They don't want us. So we're going to give you good information on that misnomer. We're going to talk about that. And I'm also, at the very end, after the panel, I'm going to play you guys a little bit of a video, something like a little vlog, to show you guys receipts, because that's how we're going to defeat this war. We're going to defeat this little, civil war, I guess you got. We're going to defeat it by just showing receipts. Nobody can argue with the receipts that passport bros have, all right? So we're definitely going to chop it up about it. Shout out to Marcus Love, the Naughty American expat. He says old dating coaches are just as bad as ABWs, aka flightless birds. I guess they worried about losing their bottom line. Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. They're definitely losing their bottom line. That's for sure. Let's see who we got here. We got GC in the building. What up? Ash L says we don't catch films, we catch flights. That's for sure. That's right. That's right. BMT, we got Tori in the building. What up, Tori? All right. So the next thing you know, they're going to hate us for breathing air. It's always something. It is, man. It really is. What up, Jay Clyde? All right, this is a good stat. I want to put this out by Chad the Great. Says U.S. State Department said only 37% of Americans have passports. That's probably going to go up in the next few years. I'm pretty sure that's going to go up in the next few years. Right now, I don't know if you saw the little specials about American expats or digital nomads actually unintentionally gentrifying some of the neighborhoods or cities that they're in, especially in Mexico and in Colombia right now. So that lets you know that people are getting their passports and they're getting out the matrix, basically. You know, all ethnicities of people are leaving America because it's just too expensive. But that's being missed. That's one of the main type of points that's being missed about, the passport bros. Like I said, the narrative is all about the women with us. We're incels. We can't get women in the States. That's the narrative that they keep driving. The PUA coaches. It's nothing about, better health care or better quality of living. All right, your US dollar going further. You're being able to purchase investments for, low prices that in concerns of you investing in the States. It's a lot of different benefits that comes along with it. Now, let me preface this. If you decide to make your riches in America, live in America, we do not have an issue with that. We're not going at anybody. Once again, it's just a return fire just to make sure that you guys are getting the facts. Because right now, it's a battle of the impressionable minds on the internet, right? It's the battle of the matriarchy, beginning from the matriarchy, all right? Because the matriarchy don't want to see their investment leave, all right? Because we was brought up a certain way. We're supposed to be there for we're supposed to be the anchors to a certain degree of the community, the bottom floor of the community that supports this dysfunctional community. All right, we were supposed to be the cleanup men, the servicemen, and that pool is still there. This is why I don't understand why they even addressing it so much. That pool is still pretty heavy. It's still there. It's only about, especially, I believe 10% of black men actually have their passports. But they don't want to see that pool dry up at all. All right, they had an endless amount, and still have an endless amount of matriarchal males, vaginas, manginas, whatever you want to call them. So they don't want to lose that. But on the opposite side, you have the gang, the PUA coaches. All right, they don't want to lose market share because for years they've been able to manipulate impressionable young guys on taking courses and classes to be able to communicate with women. Let me say that again. Paying for courses and classes to be able to communicate what you want from women. Mainly by not really being yourself. You're taking pointers from guys that are, most of these guys are older, by the way. Most of these guys are dating women that are older, from a different generation. All right. Most of these guys are talking about pre-social media. So they're giving you tactics that would have possibly worked in the 90s, early 2000s, before social media and feminism went rampant all over throughout America. These are the old age dating tactics where most of them get it from, shout out to ARC, Alan Roger Curry. I'm not going to mention that because most of these guys' tactics, all right, most of these guys' books, most of these guys' talking points really come from him, BGS, and Rome. We're not going to talk about that. All right, they're just regurgitating and trying to put a different cover on it. That's the same stuff. It's the same stuff. So we're getting it from both angles. All right. Steve the Queen sipping, no more sipping. Shout out to him. I got a super chat here. Hold on, let me catch the super chat before we get the show fully started. All right, we got Poppy Nomad with the $15 relations a pound. Why care about the opinion of the sheeps? I definitely agree with that. Who don't care about your happiness. If you die from a heart attack, more people will forget about you anyway. Do you and never apologize for your choices. Very good point by Poppy Nomad. I definitely agree. We got Grego 712 in the building. What up, Mr. BMT? What up, Grego? If you want to come on later, let me know, bro. Life of Bill says Mexico is heavy with the digital nomads, but watch companies reel that laptop lifestyle in. Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, we got a 300 jobs list on the website, blackmentravels.com as well. We got looking for online jobs to be able to spend a little bit more time overseas. Make sure you check that out. All All right. Yeah, do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. We in here. We're gonna chop it up for a minute. We in here, man. Currently, I'm in Pattaya, Thailand. Oh, let me tell you guys. Let me give you guys a little update on what's going on in Thailand, and I'll go ahead and bring up the response video that I could do from the little dating coach guy. Thailand is wide open right now. It's wide open. Somebody they made an article, and it said, people are returning. I took that article for granted. I mean, it is night and day from when I first got out here. When I first got out here, this was like pretty much a ghost town. I mean, you might have a little bit of a crowd on the weekends and some of the major clubs, but for the most part, it just, it was still a lot of COVID stuff going on, a lot of curfews. Now that Thailand's wide open, I mean, it's packed out here, bro. I'm experiencing a whole different type of Thailand right now. I'm seeing more traffic. I'm seeing more people in the clubs, in the bars. I'm seeing more people on the street. I'm seeing all types of new stuff. So it's interesting. I'm like, wow, so this is the real Thailand. Now I'm seeing it get back in this full groove. And I can honestly say that I'm pleasantly surprised because you got more women here as well, right? So you got a lot of stuff going on here in Thailand. But when one people give with one hand, they take with the other. So unfortunately, they did end the 60-day COVID extension, which means you can go back, you can go to immigration, and you can keep doing the 60 days over and over and over again. That was mainly for the tourists that were stuck here during COVID. So that has ended. So it's back to normal as far as I know. Things change a lot. You definitely want to do your own research, but if you do plan on staying out here, you have a max 90 days. And within that 90 days, you have to renew your visa for every 30 days, which is like $1,900, which is close to about $50 even. All right, so that's $50 you have to pay every 30 days to stay in Thailand. All right, so just keep that in mind. It's back to normal. After the 90 days, you basically got to do what a lot of these guys do out here. Let's do a visa run. Now, which is funny, I saw a lot of guys doing visa runs, and they really didn't have to, but they didn't know about the 60-day COVID extension. All right, they just didn't know. So they were doing visa runs really for no reason. But it's back to doing visa runs. So some guys go to Vietnam. A lot of guys go to the Philippines, whatever they're more comfortable with, they just go and come on right back. All right. So keep that in mind that things are pretty much back to normal in Thailand. All right. Let's see what else we got in the building real quick. All right. Rigo 712 says most of those guys found their wives in a controlled environment like college or their first jobs. They wouldn't know what to do with the current dating scene. Yeah, man. It's just braggadocious, loud, little setups in the background. It kind of mislead guys to a certain degree. So guys should check in and be like, man, that dude sounds really loud. He must be very confident. Let me see. I'm gonna take some dating cues from him. And these guys are invested in this. That's why they're protecting it so heavy by making, little snippet videos, of passport bros looking lame or something like that. They got to keep throwing shots our way in order for them to seemingly not lose market share. But what they don't understand is they're going to lose market share. It's over. It's over because the guys that are overseas are, once again, showing more receipts. All right. It's showing that their lifestyle is more happy. You got a lot of YouTube guys in the space, blogging, shout out to my dudes, Dennis Jean-Pierre, Traversity. You got to check the effect that came up this year. So you guys are actually seeing visuals of what they're talking about, and they're seeing something different. Now, if you go on YouTube, you can find all types of content in general. I watched a video on, I believe it was, what country was it? It was Nigeria. I believe it was Nigeria, right? And you had Jabril and Passport Heavy to do his version of Nigeria. And you had another YouTuber, I forgot his name. What's his name? I forgot the white guy's name. He's pretty big. He got like 800-something thousand subscribers. They did both videos about Nigeria, right? Jabril's video about Nigeria was more positive. It was about the good things that Nigeria was doing to come up, the food, the culture, the nice hotels, and it was basically like promoting, hey, coming to Nigeria is cool, right? But then you had the other YouTuber who made pretty much, probably, in his opinion, might have been an honest review about Nigeria, but it was showing a lot of the gutter, the bad things that was going on, You know, he was in the slums. He heard all the issues in the slums. So you got two versions of Nigeria, basically. And that's the thing about YouTube content. You're gonna always be able to find people in this space that just show the girls. Those videos, they get, millions of views. They talk about whatever they talk about concerns of the girls, whatever they're doing overseas. You're gonna have that. But then you got channels, like what's that? Digital nomad channels, other channels that talk about pretty much becoming a global citizen. And that's what this channel is pretty much for, to give you guys the proper information that you need. All right. If you look through most of my content, you really don't see a lot of stuff talking about the women and all that stuff, because it's more so about the information to get you guys to be able to feel more comfortable just exploring the world in general. All right. Yeah, do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button when you come in the room. I appreciate that. All right, so let me go ahead and print this video up. I don't have it queued up, but we're just gonna play a snippet in this video. Let me print this video before I play it. Hold on, let me put that up. I'm lagging here a little bit. Let me let that real quick. So we're gonna play a little bit of a snippet of the video. And just to set it up real quick, this guy's a dating coach. Shout out to Alpha Villains. I actually emailed him. I believe he responded in some of the comment section. He said salute, so it's all business at the end of the day. I don't make personal digs at somebody that I don't know. All right. But I will talk about the talking points. All right. So the way he set this show up is he interviewed a Colombian Dominican woman. And, the way he prefaced it and set it up was the fact that all the foreign men do are pretty much using us. We heard this narrative time and time again to get back to the States or get pregnant, so they can leave us as soon as they get back to the States. All right. So I just want to preface that real quick. Let me give a shout out to Ed Travels. Shout out to Ed Travels for super chat. Really appreciate that. He says, "What up, Aaron and BMT family? Peace and blessings from the ATL. I would like to join." All right, cool. I'm gonna play this for a little minute and do my response. I'm gonna bring everybody on. All right. So here we go.
Goddamn work.
Fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Let me put that up real quick. All right.
Coach, I'm sure you encourage your client.
Hold on. So I believe she might be a female dating coach as well.
Or not as cooperative. They're not as fast.
Hold on. Here we go.
And I wanted to bring this up because you being Latina, Hispanic, there's a new phenomenon called passport bros. And basically, these guys are traveling out of the country for women because allegedly Western women are not as cooperative. They're not as feminine. You got to play too many goddamn games to get on a date, etc. So now there's a new phenomenon where these guys are blowing up. They're really allowing men to feel and prey on a frustration as opposed to putting in the work. Now, you're a coach. I'm sure you encourage your client to put in the work because that's the real cheat code, putting in the goddamn work. What's your take on guys? Suggesting that women in Brazil, Colombia, Dominican Republic are a lot more feminine, and we should just get out of here because women are not cooperative. They don't respect us, and go somewhere in a foreign country where we can get everything that we want from a woman.
Yeah. So this has never been an.
Apologies, because I was muted. All I was saying basically was he's being very, very vague when it comes to talking about putting in work. What does he mean by putting in work?
And like a phenomenon for me in my life because my mother's from Dominican Republic, my dad is from Colombia. Like we grew up seeing this. Okay.
Sure.
So this is the thing.
You're getting it from the source. Let's go. Go ahead.
Yeah. If you're going to do that, if that's the choice that you want to make, or just something that you want to explore, please, please do not explore that in a naive or uneducated way, right? Like you still need to go there and put in the time and effort to understand the cultural context, right? Try to at least speak.
So she's speaking in the beginning, very smart. She speaks some truths, right? That's how they get you to go down that rabbit hole by saying something that's pretty much the obvious, especially for a guy that travels extensively or lives overseas. You will find out within that first 6 months to a year, all right, that you need to learn a different language. That you need to learn a little bit of the culture so you can take dating more seriously. They can take you more serious in concerns of dating. But that's a given. So she says a few truths before she sends you down that rabbit hole.
And understand the language. Try to at least spend enough time there. Like, don't just like wife somebody and bring her back to the States. Like, spend enough time there so that you can date this woman, meet her family, and like figure out if she really is a good match for you. Here's why. Because historically, again, this is my culture. I don't take responsibility for it, but this is my culture. In our culture, in Latin culture, it has always been a thing for women to attract dumb gringos to go to Latin America and marry them and bring them back to the States for papers.
Yeah.
Now, we've dissected this time and time again. All right, she's speaking specifically on certain groups of women in the Dominican Republic. Guys, let me tell you something. It is way more difficult now to just have these false marriages or the whole 90-day fiance thing going on. It's a little bit more difficult. They came up with little simple things to try to figure out if you're in a real relationship. That's number one. All right, so that's one of the causes right there. It's a transactional thing. They want to get to the States. They'll try to pay you to marry them on paper and all that good stuff. Okay, you got that. So she's talking about that as well. She's not mentioning that part. All right, she's not mentioning that sometimes these women will be straight up with you and approach you and say, hey, I want to go to America. Can we make some type of arrangement? Or can we get married or something like that? She's not talking about the upfront part of it because you do have that. I've had that happen to me in DR and Brazil offering money. But that's upfront. All right, that's a whole different situation. They're not coming at you like you're a dumb gringo or anything like that. They just basically saying that, hey, I need to make some money for my family. I need to make some American money. I want to go to America for whatever reason they want to go to America, whether it be education, whatever it is. She's ignoring the fact that 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say at least 70% of the time, these women that are in those positions will be straight up with you and say, you know what, I want to go to America. That's number one. All right, that's number one. Number two, she's talking specifically more so about the Dominican Republic. And the Dominicans have a large community up in New York. All right. A lot of times those girls will come back from New York or they have family members in New York and they're talking to them about the game and everything. That's a whole different type of thing. All right. Most guys, especially black men, are able to see through that to a certain degree. First off, most of us don't even want to come back to America. That's number one. The concerns of trying to bring back to us America. But she's talking about his specific question was on Brazil, Colombia, these other countries. She's specifically talking about the DR right now. Because I'm letting you guys know right now, I've never, all right, had a woman in Brazil try to finesse me in order to get back to the States. It just doesn't go down like that, all right? I had a woman approach me to try to make an arrangement, all right, for her to become an American citizen and I become a Brazilian citizen. I might be saying too much right now. So I've had that happen. In Colombia, I've never had that happen before, all right? This misnomer that all these Colombian women want to just get back to America is a lie. It's a lie, family, because in Colombia, these women got enough going on with their families as it is. You do got people that want to leave Colombia and go to America and work and do all that. You have that, men and women as well, all right? But it's not a situation where they're going to get into a whole relationship with you, fake a relationship, fake a marriage to get back to America. That's not happening 95% of the time. I can tell you that because Colombia has a specific romantic culture to where the women generally are going to want to like you for who you are. All right, because it's all about romance. That's very hard to fake for a quote unquote green card. All right, let's continue.
No doubt.
So, they don't love you. And as soon as they get their papers, or as soon as they have a child that they birth in the United States.
Yeah, she is kind of bad. I ain't gonna front. She bad. I'm gonna give her
that. They're out. I know somebody that happened to, and he is very, very, very hurt by this.
Devastated.
Devastated, yes. And
so that was the little fear mongering. That's the fear mongering right there. They just did. You see that? You see how they snuck that in there? I know a guy that got really hurt. Man, do you know how many men every day get hurt from just the average woman in America, bro? I mean, you got guys like Sylvester Stallone, well off, rich, status, all right? A cultural icon that's getting divorced. Come on now, man.
Here's the thing. Within the culture, there is very little to no sympathy for these men.
That's an excellent point. Okay, go ahead. Unpack that.
You have to understand that going into it, like there is if you get your heart broken, if you get financially injured, emotionally injured, there will be very little to no sympathy or empathy for your experience within that cultural context, because this is a thing that women there, who particularly women from low socioeconomic strata.
Now, they love to focus on, the women that are on a low economic, as if we're doing so much better in America financially than everybody else. Now, I will say, you got some rough stuff going on overseas and concerns of, poorness. It's a different type of poor. But guys, come on, man. We one generation away from the projects ourselves. We gotta stop this whole we just doing so much better than everybody else. Yeah, we make USD, all right. We make American money. We have access to finance and everything like that. But to be a black person or a Latin person or a person from an average background and keep trying to project like you just come. Listen, America is a superpower. Granted, all right. Yeah, the projects look a little bit better, in America than they do, let's say, in the DR or in Colombia or Brazil, all right, because the government. We have building codes and sanctions and stuff like that, and government contracts. But let's get off this. Like, we just so much better than everybody else. One generation away from the damn projects. Come on, man. As blacks, especially blacks and Latinos, as melanated people, we got to stop that. All right? By the way, the woman that asked me the situation in Brazil, she was not from a lower economic strata or anything like that, all right? She had a good job. She just wanted to get to America for whatever reason she wanted. But we gotta stop that little narrative that everybody's just poor and destitute overseas. That's not the case. Let me tell you something. You got people in the DR with money. You got people in Brazil and Baja Juca with business. All right, lawyers, doctors, doing their things. Salvador Bahia, Brazil. Black people doing their thing in Salvador. That's like Atlanta of Brazil, basically. You got people doing their thing here in Thailand. You see Thai people with money. So we gotta get over that whole narrative right there. I just want to put that out there, point that out.
Are actually educated that they should look for, right? They look for gringos on vacation that they could date, connect with, have long distance relationships with until they convince him that this is true love and you should come here and marry me and I'll go back to the States with you. So
can't believe this.
Everything has a consequence.
Sure.
If you're going to do it with your eyes all the way the fuck wide open.
Boom, let's go. Got Oriana cursing today. Yeah. Do it with your eyes fucking open, bro. Because again, now watch this. You said gringos. These passport bros comprise of mostly African American dudes, and it's cool. And I did a show on this on my morning show,
which is fine. Like over there, any other race is a gringo.
Boom. Right? Thank you. Very well. So thank you. That's what I said the other day too.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because you're always going to be a foreigner getting your race,
bro. But they're like, "Oh, you hating?" I'm like, bro. First of all, I'm not a dating coach. Number two, you guys want to do it, go. But here's my problem, and I love what you said. There's no sympathy, there's no empathy for you, bro. I mean, women can be really ruthless when they get what they want, but I like what you said because you're holding men accountable. If you're gonna do it, bro, go for it. Just make sure you have your eyes wide open, and that way you can hold yourself accountable. You knowing that you're not going over there for a fairy tale.
Yeah, and don't go there short term, right? To do this, honestly, if you just
Now I gotta give her some credit where credit's due. She's speaking some truths. She's definitely speaking some truths. But we talk about that on this show a lot. You do want to have a serious relationship overseas, you definitely gotta spend some time there. All right. So she's on point with that.
just want to have sex, that's one thing, but if you want to, if you're actually looking for a dating partner for potentially long term, then you better plan to be there for long term, months, so that you actually have a chance to date a person and see them in their own environment and meet their friends and family. Otherwise, you have no idea what you're getting into. And you could end up bringing back a woman who's just as combative as anybody you would meet here, because she doesn't really want to be with you. And so all of a sudden you marry her, and now she doesn't want you to touch her. She doesn't want she doesn't want to sleep in the same bed as you. She doesn't, she's feigning.
Now, isn't that interesting that she's mentioning everything that guys are already going through in America? Come on, man. What's the alternative? Dealing with one of the countries with the highest divorce rate in the world. One of the highest divorce rates in the world. All right. Now, I believe they be manipulating the numbers a little bit, try to make it look better than what it is. All right. But she's talking about being combative. Well, we used to that. First off, let me put this out there real quick before I catch the super chats and I start bringing everybody on. Real quick, man. First off, most guys are not trying to bring women back to the States. You do have that. All right. And to a certain degree, hey, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Bring them back to the States. Yeah, okay. But dog, if you get fooled or finesse, that's kind of on you. That's more of a personal thing. You should see some warning signs, in my opinion. All right. And I would tell you this, to be honest with you, most guys in this community are not dealing with that type of shit. I just gotta be honest. Most guys, they just try to date the women there. All right. Most guys got women in Colombia or in Brazil. And they're perfectly fine staying in Colombia and Brazil because it's a better quality of life in general. All right. You got more time to invest in a relationship. All right. What she points out is something that's the obvious. That's the obvious, bro. It should be at by this time, by now. All right. If she's constantly telling you about going back to America and y'all being happily married, ask her, why you want to go back to America so bad? What's going on in America? You have the option to date so many women that's not on that. If you catch one that is on that and you make that mistake, I mean, it happens, but you got problems with women domestically, all right? All types of issues. So you have to make that decision individually, all right? Because anybody can get finessed, dog. Anybody. And why put that on a whole country or culture of women anyway? That's kind of downgrading women that you have in your own culture. And unintentionally, she did that by just trying to point out what some women do. But are you mistaking all the games that these women play domestically? Like they don't play no games themselves? Putting you on papers, putting you on child support, finessing the system to get money up, a paycheck up out of you? What's so different is the question you got to ask. All right? Shout out to Marcus Love, the American expat with the 500. I believe that's the Kenyan shilling. I appreciate that. Just about every foreign woman I've dealt with don't want to move to the States. If anything, they want me to relocate to their country. Once again, come on, man. There you have it. There you have it, bro. Speaks nothing but truth. Shout out to Marcus Love. All right. And once again, she stated some real facts. Don't get me wrong. She stated, some good stuff. But it was the narrative that where they try to present it. Right? Like that's all that's going on. Like we just so dumb that all of us are getting finessed. That's just not the case. Shout out to Raphael Williams for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate that, my man. He says, just got done trolling a hater. Passport gang. That's what's up. Yeah, we got some haters, man. That's how you know we're doing right. We got Tobias in the building. Tobias the Traveler, who's also a member, man. I really appreciate that. With the $9.99 super chat, man. I appreciate that. He says, supporting the channel. Appreciate that, Tobias. Appreciate that, bro. All right, we got 424 in the room. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link. Do me a favor, guys. Keep it clean. All right. We're not here to insult anybody or their character or anything like that. We're just attacking their talking points. Their talking points simply don't make any sense. That's why they don't want to come on a panel or debate us. Right. I've asked several times, hey man, you want to come on? I asked him, I asked Lucario, I asked all these guys. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. All right. Shout out to Sugar Skull Life, the $2 super chat. Since when do females care about male feelings? We all know that they don't. I'm laughing, man, because I remember I was dating this chick. The last chick I was dating, she probably gonna see this video and be like, "Why are you talking about me?" Anyway, she was a mean chick. And most people would consider her to be kind of mean, right? She'll say things that she tried to cut deep. But then she realized, she was just like, you don't care what I say, do you? I'd be like, nah, not really. Because I know who I am as a person. I know I can't say the same harsh things back to you because you can't handle it, because you're still trying to shape yourself. Even in your 40s, you're still trying to figure yourself out. I already know who I am. So there's nothing that can come out your mouth that's going to affect the way I feel about me or what I got going on during that day. I might say, damn, I can't believe you said that. Hang up the phone or something and cut you off for a month or two. But yeah, I know you don't care about our feelings. Why would I even put my feelings out there for you to try to care about? It's hard play right here. I'm grown right now. My parents made me the way I am. All right. So I'm confident. I have enough love in myself to have to not try to find love out there from the outside source. All right. And that's just a grown man. If you're looking for love from a woman, bro, hey, good luck with that. I'm looking for an arrangement. I have love for her. She can have love for me, but we're adults at this point. All right? Where we at? Let me drop this link real quick. Chop it up with the fam before we get on up out of here. Shout out to Poop Man 313 $2 super chat, man. I really appreciate that, my bro. Somebody said Alpha Version is cupcaking. Come on, man. You already know that. You already know they're gonna pair with a woman that look like that. This should encourage men to keep traveling. I definitely agree. We got my dude Xavier Lancaster in the building. It's interesting. This lady speaking on the behalf of Passport Bros and probably never been to Medellin. Yeah, I believe she said she's Colombian and Dominican though. She might have been to Medellin. All right, let me go ahead and drop this link. Where you at? Here we go. Guys, do me a favor and cam up. All right. You can do me a favor and cam on up if people want to see who's speaking. If you decide to come on. All right. I don't see that. I know I just dropped that link in here. Okay, let me drop it again. I thought I dropped the link. All right. There we go. Shout out to Poopman 313 the file super chat, man. I really appreciate that. I was late to the party, was watching Al Greaves Frustrated 2. All right, shout out to my dude Al Greaves, man. Shout out to him. I gotta bring him on the show real soon, actually. That documentary helped change my life. I believe I saw part 1. And it made so much sense at the time. It made sense. Brother Marcus, your screen's a little blurry there. There you go. Get the blurry screen on, bro. All right, I'm gonna let you fix that real quick, bro, and I'll bring you back in. Hold on. All right, we got my dude, Dre the Kid in the building.
What's happening?
What's going on, my bro? What's going on? Hold on, let me can you up real quick, man. Let me put some bedazzle on us real quick, man.
Hey,
there we go.
Hey, lit.
What's good, my brother?
Cooling it down here in Colombia as usual.
Man, that's what's up, man. That is what's up, brother. You out there getting played and used, bro.
Every day they want this green card out here, man. You know how they do.
They want that green card out there, right? They want that green card out there, bro.
And that nonsense.
Man, what is going on, bro? What is going on out here, bro? You know, what's going on? Like, why are we getting so much? First of all, why are we getting so much attention? I know Austin went viral, but why so much hate and disinformation is the question. Why? Why can't we just? Let me ask you this. Matter of fact, let me ask you this. Do you think, in your opinion, that black men can have standards in general?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. And the problem with it now is, you know, the guys that are leaving, I mean, they have the capabilities to be able to get up, move around, and or live overseas permanently like we do. And they hating it back home. I mean, you got guys out there hating that. Other guys are leaving women behind, so to speak. There's more women for them, but they got plenty to say in their busy days in America to sit back and talk about what we got going on.
That's facts. That's facts. Let me go ahead and bring on. Let me move this out the way. All right, let me go ahead and bring on my dude Ed Travels and
back in family.
Marcus Love. How's it going today, bro?
I'm doing well, man. Sorry about that mix-up. I had a piece of tape on my camera lens there, and I had to wipe it off. Apologies about that.
No, you good. You good. So you got a dashiki on?
Oh,
what's going on? Wait a minute. You out there in Kenya, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, that's what's up, man. So are those Kenyan women trying to finesse you to get back to the States?
No, it's the opposite, man. They want you to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them got good jobs, man. I saw, but she wouldn't talk to me. I guess I wasn't her type, money wise. She was a female pilot for Kenyan Airways. Damn, she was fine. Real hair. She just looked at me and kept on walking. I couldn't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
She probably want another male pilot or somebody else. She was bad, man. She had a little uniform on, booty all out. I said, damn. But yeah, a lot of these women, they are working and they all have side businesses. They have a job on the side, a little part-time business. Everything's in cash here, man. If you see a woman in a Range Rover or a Mercedes Benz, she owns it. If she's got an apartment or a house, she owns it. There's none of this, making 5 to 7 years to pay for a nice whip. They own that motherfucker. Excuse my language. They own that car.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're a homeowner, they pay cash for it. So these women have jobs. These women aren't broke and destitute as some of these flightless birds back in the USA like for us to believe. These women have jobs. They're responsible. They're not all hookers. And I've been to Brazil twice, Rio and Salvador Bahia, and I met regular women there, not hookers. So they can stop all the madness right now. Yeah. But just to make a quick plug, Al Grease is Frustrated 3. He has a premiere coming out Saturday in New York. I wish I could be there to watch it, but I'm not there. So y'all get his documentary, man. As soon as it drops, we've been waiting a long time for Frustrated 3. So I just want to put that out there.
No, you make very good points. And shout out to my dude Al Grease, man. I gotta chop it up in here. I'm gonna bring him on,
no doubt,
real soon, because his documentaries are powerful. It helped change my life. All right. Yep, definitely. I want to welcome Ed Travels to the show. What's going on, Ed?
Hey, what's happening? Hitting you up from the ATL, Aaron.
That's what's up. We got three ATL dudes in the building.
Absolutely.
Hey, I don't even remember how to throw it up. Is this it now?
Hey, man, I'd just like to say, first of all, peace and blessings to all the brothers on the panel, all the ones in the chat. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, and I'll get into it later if I have time, but I got an infamous message from our boy Peso Man.
Oh man, we don't
not that motherfucker. I was on his panel last week. He wouldn't even cam up and talk.
The thing is that I did a video and
Hey, bro, I gotta meet you there, brother. I'm sorry, but we don't even discuss what goes on with that cat.
Yeah, but let him say something at BMT. He was talking mad shit about you last week. I'm telling you,
we can't mention him because he's currently in a lawsuit. So we can't mention anything about that dude on my platform. All right? And I'm going to have to edit that part out too.
Especially,
Ed, I had to mute you, bro.
Good for you.
I had to mute you, bro, because I got something going on with that cat, and I can't bring him up currently right now. All right.
Okay.
So I had to mute you. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna catch the super chats real quick, man. We're gonna get back to the show. Give me 1 second. Shout out to Mr. Albert with the 5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says black women have been taking special Jamaican trips since the 90s. Where was the smoke for them? That's true. I actually had a girlfriend. Actually, I had 2 girlfriends that were taking trips to Jamaica. I had no idea what was going on out there. I just believe what they said. It was going on a girls' trip. Shout out to Eric Powell with the 5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. After you get your passport, consider getting a second citizenship. You know the Matrix hates seeing black men free. That's a very good point. All right. Shout out Oliver the Third with the 5 super chat. Anything to keep us on the plantation, that's sad. Very true. That is very true. I want to give a shout out to Chucky Luciano with the $50 super chat. He says, what up? BMT, why they hating? Hey, man, it just comes with the territory, bro. It just comes with the territory. All right, I got another super chat by James G, $2 super chat. He said, will you have Alan Roger Curry back on the show? You know what? I'm going to hit ARC up, man, to see what he thinks about all this. What's going on? Alan Roger Curry, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He's not against Passport Bros, though. He's not. You know, to be honest with you, a lot of these coaches now got their style from ARC because he's been doing the dating coach thing since the 90s, I want to say. He's been doing it for a minute. So he's the OG in that game. Shout out to James G once again. He said, do you have any info on Singapore or Hong Kong? Ed might can answer that. Ed, have you been out there? I know you've been all around Asia.
Singapore is cool, but it's a bit on the expensive side if you're looking at Asia. Mm-hmm. You know, it's extremely clean city, got great transportation. If he contacts me, I can put you in touch. I haven't been to Hong Kong yet. I'd love to go.
That's what's up. Okay, I think we put on the super chat.
But really quick, I think the reason why this Passport Brothers movement is making such a wave, I reflect back to the video you showed on another live when the sister said they leaving us. Mm-hmm. And it's the fear of abandonment that they feel, right? Because in reality, if you truly listen and break down what these coaches and what these bitter, lonely women are saying, is all the brothers, like my grandma said, they got some business about them. You know, we've structured our lives in such a way that affords us to travel or live overseas, right? And we're making the decision to exercise our options to do just that. So they're being left with an even smaller pool of men to choose from. So if you can't defeat it, just hate on it, which is their logic. So it shouldn't discourage any brother. It should really make you want to move. I want to go anywhere that I feel welcomed and appreciated, and my money goes further. So it's almost useless to talk to them because they have no point of reference. They're talking about women they don't know who come from places they've never been.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Facts.
And let me ask you this, Ed, before I bring Oliver III up. In your experience dating women overseas, have you been finessed or tried to be finessed for a green card or getting back to the States?
No, never. The family dynamic is extremely strong worldwide. You know, I live in Cambodia, so their family is paramount.
Yes, it is.
You know, and she don't want to come back here. She might want to come to, but also let me drop this real quick so you can get to my man. Is, dude, you just can't go to the airport with this woman and get her on a flight, man. There's a visa process. There's an interview because the U.S. don't want to be responsible for her. If it goes south between you two, you got to sign that statement of financial obligation where you promise to take care of her financially so the government doesn't. So that further lets me know these people ain't been nowhere. But they don't want to come here. They don't want to come here. Maybe to visit, but they want to be. And I don't want to come back. You know, so why would I bring her back to let these women poison her?
Good point. Very good point. I want to welcome Oliver the Third on the show. You muted. You muted, bro.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. What's good, man?
Hey, man, I'm real proud of what you've been doing. Now, I've been traveling for a long, long time or whatnot, just kind of on my low, right? But I gotta say, what you have managed to start here and getting these brothers together and spreading that word about, hey, there's other options, man. You are really saving lives out here. So salute to you.
Oh man, I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that.
So yeah, man. My take on all this is similar to the other brothers, man. I feel like, well, for one, this kind of really makes me feel like, okay, this is what heads were dealing with when they were trying to get off the plantation back in the day. You know what I mean? Like this kind of peer pressure. Oh, where you going? This is the best it is, and you know, the American propaganda is serious, man. Like, and I will say, I have met in my travels ladies who, you know, bought into that propaganda and want to try and finesse you and get back to the United States. Like that is a factor. You know, you're gonna find opportunities anywhere you go. You got to exercise discernment and put them through the same kind of trials and tests that you would put a lady here through. You know, but by and large, you're gonna find some good females out there who are about family, who are about you. You know, these ladies here who are complaining that men are going out there, whatnot. They're not trying to date you or marry you out here. You know what I mean? Like they just want more men to reject. You know what I mean? Like this is all for their ego. You know, and when you say, you know what, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like they can't say anything to you, and so they're trying to shame you to get back and dealing with their mess. And it's, I don't know. I mean, that's up to you if you want to deal with that. But I've been done, man. It is not worth it. You know, and it's really almost not even their fault. You know what I mean? Like the ladies here, we got to remember that feminism started here, so this is like ground zero for that mentality. You know what I mean? Like and so these ladies here who were raised in this, raised to think that they needed to get their degrees and somehow that would make them better. You know what I mean? Like everything was prioritized over a nuclear family. You know what I mean? Like, and so like they were just brought up with that. And frankly, we were too. You know what I mean? Like we were brought up, we watched the Huxtables, we saw how Claire was Herb and Cliff left and right. You know what I mean? So we grew up with the same nonsense, right? It just once you get out in the world, you're like, wait a minute, man, I'm not really liking this attitude. And then when you realize, wait a minute, not all the women operate like that. Then it's a whole different world now. You know what I mean? And so brothers are waking up, brothers are listening. You got these dating coaches. Here's my thing. I think this will solve the dating coach problem. You grab Minister Jat, you grab all these cats, and you know what? We gonna pay to send you out with us to Cartagena. You know what I mean? You coming with us to Medellin, you coming with us to Cali, you coming with us to Brazil. You know what I mean? Like let's take them on a trip. You know what I mean? Let's show them what's up, and we'll be videotaping you. We're gonna tape you as we take you out there, right? We're gonna show you a good time. And then you're gonna have to look in this camera after we done took you out, and you're gonna have to say what you've been saying, or you're gonna say the truth. You know what I mean? But let's take you on a trip. Yeah, all expenses paid. Because guess what? It ain't that much money. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's take you on a trip, man. You know, let's solve this beef by bringing you out here, and then you tell me what the South Side of Chicago's got to offer you. You know what I mean? I'm here in Oakland. Yeah, and we got some beautiful women out here in Oakland. But but that mentality is the problem. It's not about the physical attractiveness, though. I will say per square mile, you're gonna find a lot more attractive specimens. You know what I mean? Because I just think the food is better, and you know, whenever you got this McDonald's scunch that we be feeding our people over here, it takes a toll on the body. So, like I said, a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with here is not really the fault of the ladies here. You know what I mean? It's the environment. The environment is toxic. You know what I mean? It's as toxic as the food, and that's why black men are finally saying, you know what? Between the racism between the how far my money will go, and just the pressures I'm feeling as a black male in general, and then the battles I have with my own lady. Yeah, I want to look elsewhere, and that is not a problem. You know what I mean? Like when you look at all the great men, throughout world history, these were people who were explorers, right? We don't praise the dude who just sat at home and took it. You know what I mean? We praise the explorers who went out there and was like, nah, there's got to be something better out there. So the hate that we're getting right now, that Passport Brothers in general are getting right now, a lot of it's fear, ignorance, fear of the unknown, and projecting, which is what that lady that you were showing earlier on, she was projecting a lot of her own internal nonsense onto women she's never even met. You know what I mean? So it's sad, but that's why the whole SYSBM is a thing, right? It's like, you know what? The environment is toxic. Save yourself, black man. And I can't co-sign that enough.
That's a good point. Let me catch a super chat, and I'm gonna bring Ramsey up. Shout out to James G. He said, "Ed Travels, thank you for your service. I just looked up your channel. I will reach out when I go to Asia next year. I see a lot of potential in Asia. So that's for you, Ed Travels. Shout out to you.
No problem, man. I'm always available. Just hit me up, man. I'll be happy to share anything.
Perfect. I want to bring on Ramsey to the show. Yeah, take this out.
Good evening, gentlemen. Everybody hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's it going?
BMT, thanks for having me on.
Not a problem at all, bro. What's on your mind?
So I just had a few points to make. I agree 100% when it comes down to talking about women, whether in the U.S. or overseas. It comes down to you as a man and your character and what you've built, whether it be your spiritual foundation, your financial foundation, having emotional intelligence. So for me, a big reason why I encourage people to explore, get that passport, is the financial benefits of being out of the matrix. And especially people who, so for me, I was on Austin's Live earlier this week. And I made the point, like, I'm legally blind, so I can't really survive in a car-based society. And in the US, if I want to live somewhere, it's going to be New York or DC. That's really expensive, right? Because those are metropolitan areas you can get around decently using public transport, Uber, whatnot. But it's a really high cost of living. So I was living up in Syracuse before I left permanently out of the US. That was right before the pandemic. And I've been to Egypt, a few other countries. I'm living here in Brazil for the past 2 years now. So for me, that financial liberty you get earning your dollar, working remotely, and then making those transfers and seeing the exchange rate. In some other cities, other cultures, is not necessarily car based, so you can survive. Like here, I order my food on Uber. It's not that expensive. They deliver it to my door. I have like an electric bike that I can get around. I can go to the beach, and when I need to, if I need to call Uber, it's $10 for 50 kilometers, or I might pay 20.
Are you overseas currently?
Yeah, I'm in Barra.
Oh, you in Brazil?
Rio, yeah.
Rio. Oh, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Okay, you can tell us that.
Yeah, man. So I lived in 5 states. I was born in Detroit, grew up in California, went to school, Atlanta, and so I've gotten exposure to all the areas in the U.S. and I know the culture. Like Cali culture is the best, open society, like the brother said, beautiful women, but then you have the cost of living to deal with, in New York. But I'm trying to make a point that when it comes to women, it's the same thing. I think globally, it really comes down to us as men. But the advantage of being outside the U.S. is that you have that power with your American passport and the American dollar.
That's a good point, man. I want to piggyback off what you just said, Ramsey, and pull it to his Dre the Kid real quick. Why do you think everybody's missing like the whole focal point of Passport Bros is all about the women? The women. Why is everybody missing all the other benefits of becoming a global citizen?
They just looking for a reason to keep you on the plantation, man. I think it's that American exceptionalism stuff, like like that song has been playing in heads' ears since they came out the womb, and I mean, and the government does it too. Right? Like they will try to tell you all day long, this is the freest country in the world. Everybody wants to be here and this and the other, and then when you going out there, when you go to, Spain, when you go to, Ethiopia, I've been in Ethiopia, Egypt, Sudan, I met people who were like, yeah, I hear good things about America, I hear bad things, but I don't want to leave my home. And how can you blame them? So there's just a lot of rhetoric going on. And when it comes to us, we're over sexualized anyway, right? So everything we do has to be around sex, period. Right? It can't be we just want to eat good food, sit in the sun by the beach and not be harassed by, law enforcement or whatever, right? And so I just think it's the little white man in their head, that's whispering in their ear telling them, sit tight. But the funny thing is, white dudes are out of here too, right? I mean, like when you see,
they
I see them
all
all
over
over
here
the
in
place.
Kenya. They're all up in here in Kenya. These white boys are in mass. White boys and Chinamen, whites and Chinas. They all up in here, snagging these women left and the right. They're just getting them left and right. No one bats an eye back in the U.S. They over here doing their damn thing. I'll be damned if I'm gonna sit back and not get my share. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny, man, because I heard when my boy went to Uganda, he was like, "Man, I was on a plane full of white guys out there going to Uganda." But go ahead, Dre. Back to you, bro. I kind of hopped in there, but back to you, Dre.
No, it's cool, but no, it's usually the same old rhetoric. They want to sit back. Okay, people have sex in America. They have sex overseas. All right, that's settled. What else? It's like there's more stuff going on. I mean, I live down here, and it's a blessing to be able to pick and choose which country you want to be in. Sometimes I'll sit back. All right, this month I want to go live in this country. I want to go live in that country. But in this country, I'm not just here as a tourist. I got ID. I got bank accounts. I got Colombian credit. This apartment ain't Airbnb. I mean, I'm out here moving around in society. I got a whole girl. We've been together for about 1.5 years now. Know the family, travel all over this country. And I traveled the world prior to this. So to sit back and hear a lot of these people sit back and constantly repeating, "Oh, they just traveling for women. All the women want green cards," and I mean, I have yet to meet outside of a particular type of woman down here. I have yet to meet people that just dying to come to the States in numerous countries I've been to across this globe. Like they see our news, they don't want no part of America, all that nonsense and violence. Like and the family structure in the majority of these countries, it ain't set up to where these women just want to uproot themselves and lead their families. That's a very specific type of woman in these cultures where she gonna leave her family behind. Like my girl talks to her family every single day, every day.
Yup.
So
you can take her back to America if you wanted to.
No,
every day.
She don't even
and I bet you,
know.
and I bet you, hey brother, tell the truth. Her mama makes sure she keeps her in line just for you.
That's a whole nother element.
Are you feeding my son? Are you feeding my son-in-law? Are you taking good care of him? I've seen it here.
They got onto her one time for a photo she posted where it looked like there was another dude, and that was somebody else's husband in the photo. And she, as soon as she arrived here, she was still on the phone getting phone calls from family members like, "Hey, who is that? Where your boyfriend at?" I mean, she was they was giving her the business. She had to put me on the phone to say, "Hey, I'm here," stuff like that. I mean, it's a whole nother ball game out here, man. Now, granted, you do need to be able to speak the language pulling up in these countries, thinking you're gonna get a regular female. You ain't just hopping off that plane and jumping into something. That ain't how this works. But it's possible, and there's a lot of us out here doing this.
Now, you make very good points, and we talk pretty much often online and offline, bro. What's our general conversation It has nothing to do with women. Yeah, it has nothing to do with women. It's all about, hey man, you heard about this, or you heard about this digital visa, you heard about this going on in this country. It's just
legit
exchange
stuff.
Information, bro.
Yeah, getting legal status in different countries. I mean, there's ways you can get retirement visas in countries. They got the digital nomad visas, and once because you got to have a visa to enter any country. So even when you pull up here in Colombia, you have a visa. You get visa on arrival. It's a visitor visa. They stamp your passport. That's your status here. You're a visitor, a tourist. But in any country, once you get that status, that's going to allow you to start opening up bank accounts and being able to integrate more within the society instead of just. I mean, now granted, if you can only travel for the weekend warrior stuff, that's different. But the expat side of things, man, we really live in these countries. Saving money hand over fist. Like I bring in good money and was bringing in good money in America. But at the same time, now I'm saving, I'll just say at least $1,000 a month, at least, and saving. And I live pretty, freely. You can see me on Instagram. I'm beach one week. I'm in another area. I mean, I'm everywhere, and it's possible, brother. It's possible. Don't sit back and believe all that nonsense from people that's sitting back in America, reading stuff, looking at TV, talking about what's going on overseas. If you listen to them for 5 minutes, you can tell they ain't been nowhere for no long period of time.
That's a good point. I want to go ahead and swing it on over to Ed. I want to ask you a question real quick, Ed. After that, I'm going to do super chats. In your personal opinion, why do you think that Black men are associated with dating the bottom of the barrel women outside of the States? Because the other ethnicity guys, they don't get that, right? They go overseas. Why is that attached to us? Why do we have to date the dusty foot women? I like dusty women personally. I'm just saying, why is that attached to us? I keep me a little dusty little female. Y'all know how I get down. Go ahead, Ed. Hold on, I think you muted. Hold on. I think you're on mute. Ed, you're muted. You're muted, bro.
All right, man. I just think that it's a continuation of the destruction of the Black man. How they see us. We can't go anywhere else and do anything better than them. It fits their narrative, right? Because it's a bigger cultural issue. And Dre stuff touched on a good point. Like me personally, I live in Cambodia and I've been there for 4 years. I have a house. I invested in in a small business there. I'm a resident. If I'm there 3 more years, I can get resident status so that I can own land and get a hard title to a property. That's my home. I'm not just traveling there. I come back to the States to handle business. But back to your question, it's their view of us. It's a clear representation of how most of these Black women see us. You can't do any better than that. So what you're going to do is you're going to go overseas and find a little dumb woman, blah, blah, blah. So when they come back, Aaron, with this, pseudo compassion and concern for these women, it's all fake. She don't really like her either because she don't like herself. You feel me? So she's calling her, dirty foot. Like again, to my man Dre, you ain't never been there. I can tell when you open your mouth within 2 minutes. You've never been there. But what you're used to and you're accustomed to is degrading me, attacking me, making me look stupid. Because at the end of the day, it's a cultural issue, man. These women are raised to be independent, to put education, money, cars, possessions, superficial things first. And then when I get old and dusty and ran through, then I'm going to find a man that fits into my world under my terms and my rules. It just don't work that way. Where just like in Colombia, for instance, you find a woman that was raised to be a wife, that honors, respects her man, and knows her role in that family dynamic.
Can I say one thing on that issue real quick?
Sure. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, have y'all noticed how we all get compared?
You muted, Aaron.
Shout out to Raymond Farmer, formed the follow super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He said, shout out to the Passport Brothers. Forget what the others think. Shout out to you. Appreciate that. I want to give a shout out to Wade, $2 super chat. He said, Chinese, Jewish, Arab, black are not the same. Okay, I'm not sure where that came from, but appreciate $2 super chat. Let's see what we got here. Shout out to Eric Powell. The women know the system uses black men to subsidize their poor life choices. Think about it: child support, divorce, victimhood, sympathy. Of course, they're scared to lose that safety net. That's a very good point. It's a very good point. Shout out to Eric Powell. All right. All right. Shout out to Stefano Demira with a $20 super chat. Man, I really appreciate that. He says, salute BMT. I want in Passport Bros. We're talking about the Facebook group, man. Come on ahead and join. Shout out to Bishop NYC23, the $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. America is a big myth. We were taught these countries are dangerous and third world, but actually they are paradise. Medellin is ranked number three in the best cities in the world. Shout out to Bishop NYC23. I really appreciate that, man. Shout out to James G with the $5 super chat. Ed, what made you pick Cambodia? I know you can earn another passport there, which is rare in Asia. I have been seeing a lot of foreigners invest there. You want to tackle that question real quick, Ed?
Yeah, real quick, man. I was actually in Phuket, and my apartment wasn't going to be ready for a week. So I went over to Siem Reap to see Angkor Wat, the temple. Mm-hmm. And after about 4 days of being in Cambodia, I was like, man, I really like it here. It's not quite as developed as Thailand, but it was just how friendly the people were. It was a little cheaper than Thailand. And then transitioning into being an expat, because you're in Thailand, Aaron, and I remember back when you had to put, I don't know what it was, 800,000 baht in a bank account in order to get that retirement visa. Well, in Cambodia, even though I was under 50 at the time, I paid $297 for a 1-year multi-entry visa, retirement visa. And every year I've been there, I just go to a travel agency and pay them $297, and within 5 days, I have another visa for another year. So the visa situation is really, there. And also, it's centrally located in Southeast Asia. Thailand on one side, Vietnam on the other, Laos. Siem Reap is a tourist city, so I got an international airport 10 minutes away from my house. So I can fly anywhere I want. And I would urge more brothers to check into Cambodia. It's a good place to be
I might not go there next week.
Man, I like Pattaya, Soy 6. But, to be able to be centrally located, hour from Thailand, 2 hours from the Philippines, an hour from Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're right in the middle. And then they got direct flight. Well, not a direct flight, but when I fly back to I fly to Incheon, Korea, and there's a nonstop flight on Delta directly back to Atlanta. So I only got one stop.
That's a good point. We got to do a show one day, man. I got so many questions. I don't want to get off the subject too bad, but I got so many questions to ask you about Cambodia. We're going to do a show real soon, man, most definitely. Let me catch a super chat by Mr. Mister. I'm going to swing it back to you so you can make your statement, Oliver. Shout out to Mr. Mister with the $5 super chat. He says, I'm just paying this tithe to contribute to BMT Bible studies on Soy 6. Man, I don't know what Soy 6 is. I've never heard of that one, man. But shout out to you, Mr. Mister. All right, go ahead. What is that? I know I missed something, but I'll catch up with some later. Go ahead, Oliver. You were saying something?
So I was just saying, have you noticed how with black men, we all get compared to the lowest among us? Like that, the lowest among us seems to set the standard, just because they see, Pookie and Ray Ray doing whatever with some whale of a white lady, they want to project that onto all black men. And that really isn't the case. Even in the United States, I'm out here in California and I see plenty of black men pulling very attractive ladies. So it's almost some of it is the media that tries to portray us as bottom feeders, right? And then some of it's just the hateration. They don't want to admit that the black man is as sexy and desirable as he actually is. It's all this psychological war game. So when they see us going abroad, or what, the first thing they want to say is, it can't be because she actually likes you. Like, and to me that cracks me up, because I'm like, the ladies here like me. Why can't the ladies over there like me? And so it really is just this desire to just belittle us, right? To belittle our value, and it's bad enough we get it from the dominant society, but we do get it from our own ladies here, and we just got, that's why the whole SYSBM is like, look, black man, you ain't gonna be able to fix this situation. It's toxic against you for a reason. That is by design, and just do what you need to do.
Man, very good point. I want to swing it back to Marcus Love. Marcus, I want to ask you the same question I asked Ed. Why do you think black men have to be associated with dating, the poorest of the poor, or in other countries, basically? Why do we have to be associated? Why can't we date, upper class women overseas?
I hate to put it like this, but it's like they don't have any respect for us from day one, man. I was married to a Black American woman for 21 years. I've dated one or two white women in my lifetime, and like Oliver said, I lived a long time in Los Angeles, California, and brothers were dating women of all ethnicities through the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s. It's nothing new to us. We see it all the time, but it's just that they I didn't coin this phrase, but they like to have the first right of refusal. It's really sick-minded, and I'm not going to go long-winded into it, but you've heard it before. They want it's like they don't want to see us happy, content, and with peace of mind. If they want to hold us off to the side, put us into like into an encasement, like you have a fire extinguisher or an axe, said break it in case of emergency, like i.e. when I'm done being rammed, pardon me, when I'm done being rammed through after 30, 40 years, then I'll be ready for you. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like I never had trouble getting a woman ever in my life. And I don't have a lot of money. I'm not rich, but I'm not broke ass Pookie either. You know what I'm saying? So they like to think that they own us, man. We're their backup plan. Like every sister in America that I've been with, they talk that Black power stuff. Like, yeah, I love my black man. Almost half of them are married to white men right now. I left Facebook like almost 2 years ago. I got tired of seeing half the women I used to date on Facebook. They with these fat, broke white dudes. They broke and they ain't with them. So you and I used to be with these women. I'm like saying, I'm looking at myself like, what? I'm thinking back with all that bullshit they were telling me. I love the black man and we need to unite and all this bullshit. One was a Christian. Another one was a Muslim woman. They all ended with these fat, broke, non-black men. But in the back of their mind, they want to keep us here on this, I guess, this virtual plantation, just in case the shit goes south. They can jump back to us and say, "Oh yeah, you know what, Marcus, I want you." And I'm like, "No, you don't." See what I'm saying? It's like, no, never. I think it's backfiring on them now because this shit's gonna go political. You saw when like 4 years ago, or 6 years ago, when Trump won. I didn't vote for Trump or Hillary. I voted third party, but I still can appreciate how good the economy was going when that orange dude named Trump was in office. He was a fuck up, but you know what? The economy was going pretty damn good versus now. And imagine him or someone of his ilk getting into office in 2024. Can you imagine if they start gutting, not the whole program, because more white people on welfare than black people anywhere, but imagine they just cut 50% of this welfare system, this safety net. Do you know how panicked they'll be? And they're not going to have black men to fall back on. So they really don't respect us. They just want to keep us there just in case when the shit hits the fan, they can lean on us to come rescue their ass. And it's just ain't gonna happen, brother. Aaron, it's just not gonna happen. I'm not the only man who thinks like this. The brothers on this panel, we're not the only brothers who think like this. You just got us on here conversing with you, and I'm telling you, there's a silent majority of us out there who feel the same way, and we're just not fucking around no more, man. There's dudes. I'm hoping my nephews are not going to waste time like I used to. You know, I hope they get their shit together, get their money right, get the passports, and just bounce and work a remote job. I'm praying that they do that. But yeah, to answer your question, not to be too long-winded, they don't respect us, and they want to keep us just in case when the shit hits the fan. They can depend on us. So that's just my 2 cents on it. You know, I may be wrong, but that's what I think.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Let me catch the super chats, man. I'm gonna go ahead and sum up the show. I'm gonna get everybody's closing statements. We're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Shout out to Trader Man with $2 super chat. He says, head to South Africa for the whole month for my 25th birthday. Oh, you're gonna have a ball, man. Generation Z ain't playing the game. Man, I wish I had my passport at 25. Shout out to you, Trader Man. You're gonna have a ball out there, man. That's what I'm talking about. Young brother got his passport. He already know. All right, shout out to Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. The $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. We already won, fellas. Live long and travel. Salute from the hashtag Walking Receipt. That's what's up, man. That is what is up. Somebody said they in Shane Ma. I gotta go to Shane Ma. Catch the other super chat. Shout out to Fear to No One with the $50 super sticker. Man, I really appreciate that, bro. Good looking out. He didn't make a comment, but I appreciate that support, man. Appreciate that. Fear to None. Shout out to Ken Matinee. He's a member as well. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate that $10 super sticker. I really appreciate that. Man, we got 528 in the building. We must be talking some troops out here today, fellas. All right. Shout out to Charles Keys Sr. with $10 super chat. I really appreciate it. He said we need the app to find Black men's Airbnb in DR, Colombia, Costa Rica, and Rio, etc. Yes, sir. Very true. Very true. The app is on the way. The app is looking good, by the way, fellas. All right. Let me catch this last few. We can go get up out of here. All right. Shout out to Roger Name with a $5 super chat. I think that's how you pronounce that. Apologies if I pronounced it wrong. So it's about control. Think for yourselves, bros. Prioritize your life. Don't go sacrificing yourself for women that openly talk about deleting you as boys. Yeah, man, I've heard some crazy things on the internet, man. These little divestment channels that they let grow and grow and grow. That's the problem by not having our own platform. Because, well, I don't know how that's not considered to be hate speech or some of the terminology they come up with against us. All right, there we go. So, Dre, I'm gonna go ahead and get your last closing statements, man, about what you think about the subject at hand.
All right. Well, they hate us, man. Let them folks be great, man. You know, get out here, stay focused on what you got to do. You know, we always say the PUA coaches don't have receipts. Well, a lot of us expats got receipts. Like I said, you know, you got Aaron on here with the channel. You got BMT groups, guys showing the photos. I said, you know, go check my stamps on Instagram. We put this information out here because it's too much nonsense out here that it's difficult to get a grasp of the facts. And the reality is you can live overseas, you can live a good life, you can even actually save money. Like I said, I saved tons of money. You can get legal status in these countries, you can get bank accounts, you can get into their credit systems, purchase properties, you can do all those things. You're looking for a woman, you'll get that too. It's a lot of stuff out here, and all you got to do is stay focused on what you need to do. Let them haters be great, because if they hating on you, you must be doing something right. If they got time to take out their day to sit back and talk about what you got going on in your life that has absolutely nothing to do with them, you're doing something right, because people tend to like to hate on what they can't have. This expat lifestyle is the kind of thing that people dream of, especially those of us that don't have regular 9 to 5s. That, you know, we wake up, do whatever we want to do when we want to do it. We don't even keep up with the days of the week. So you'll get there. Just tune out that noise, skip the next pair of J's, you know, man, save up for a plane ticket, and man, just get out here and live your life, brothers.
Man, good point, man. Appreciate you coming on the show, bro. Appreciate that. All right, we got my guy Ed Travels in the building. All right, last closing statement, bro.
Hey, man, to piggyback on what Dre said, stay focused. Get out of your comfort zone. There's a whole world out there for you to explore so that you can find yourself. It's possible. And just create your happiness and find a place to be happy, joyful, and free. Thanks a lot to BMT and the panel.
Appreciate you coming on, bro. All right, I got Marcus Love in the building. Close the statement, bro.
Oh, well, not much to say. Well, yeah, to the younger brothers watching this live stream, everyone's got a bit of knowledge to give to you guys. You don't have to agree with any of us, but just take this and just keep this in mind. You're responsible for your own happiness. Don't listen to these haters back in the States. You do what's good for you, okay? You really got to do what's good for you, because after the smoke clears, it's all on you. If you ever get to my age, I'm 59 years old, you get to this point and you have any regrets about your life, you have no one to blame but yourself. So, you're young, you're in your 20s and 30s, get out there and get yours and do what's best for you. And if one of those decisions is to leave the United States for a better life, then go do it. Don't worry about people hating on you or trying to dissuade you. Do it and feel good about yourself, because you're responsible for your own happiness. And that's about it.
Good point. Good point. I want to give a shout out to the Black Cleaner Restorer and File Super Chat. I really appreciate that. He says they are stuck in mental bonds looking to be saved, but we are going for self. All right, I want to get Oliver the Third closing statements.
So I'll just say this, Black men, we are the only planned workhorse in this country. This country was not designed for us to be happy in our own right. So understand that you're the fall guy here, and that's just what it is. Now, this is a great place to make money. You can get your education. That's all well and good, but understand it's not designed for you to be successful here. And there are other options where you can take the benefits of being here. You can take the benefits of having that U.S. passport and really maximize the return on that in all ways: money, lifestyle, the ladies, whatever. So explore your options.
All right, man. Good point. I appreciate everybody coming on the panel. That was a great show. We got to do this disinformation panel sometimes just to keep, it's always return fire, just a little propaganda going against us. But we all going to keep it positive, man. And we're going to keep them passports stepping. Ed, I'm going to hit you up later, man. I got to do an interview with you, bro.
All right, just shoot me an email, man.
All right. Peace out, guys. Peace out. All right, another great show, guys. I appreciate everybody coming on the panel. Like I said, we just had to set the record straight. It's a lot of this information going out. But before we end the show, I'm just going to play a snippet of a previous video that I shot when I was in Rio de Janeiro. All right, now the video is actually on this channel. So I'm show you guys a little bit of a snippet real quick, man. All right, just to show you guys some receipts that, what really goes on overseas with us with the passport goes.
I know it's super loud out here, but we're gonna get a little twisted right now. Check it out.
She pull up, hop out, then she swerve. Do your two-step, your little catwalk, make it work. Make it work, Jill dance, make it work, strike a pose. Make it work, Jill dance, make it work, strike a pose. I pull up, hop out, then I swerve. Do my two-step, my little catwalk, make it work. Make it work, Jill dance, make it work, strike a pose. Make it work, Jill dance, make it work, strike a pose.
What's going on, family? It's your man BMT in the building, and tonight we are taking a journey to Rio's notorious North Zone. All right, a little bit off the beaten path. We're going to be going to Madureira, in particular Viaduto, which is a viaduct in English. All right, guys. Now, in this particular area, we got Casa Block Rio. We got the all-night barbershop. Everybody kind of congregates outside there at night.
Hello, America.
Get your hair cut. Good folk.
But we also got Theo Dutu, which is really cool line dancing right underneath the underpass, or overpass, I should say. A lot of things to do out here, man. Beautiful women everywhere. You can definitely get your holler on, guys, when you come out here. Make sure you get your little two-stepping on, get your dance moves down, because it's going to be a lot of dancing, man. But check it out, man. It's really dope vibes here. It gets popping, I would say, about 2 a.m. on a Saturday night. That's when it really gets to jumping. So check it out, guys. This is really dope nightlife here in Rio de Janeiro. All right. Just want to show that real quick, man. Just a few little receipts, guys. The video is actually, I'll put it in the description before I go. Shout out to Jay Downs with the $5 super chat. He says, I walked away from a dagger in 2002. Now black men are flying away from them 20 years later. You only have one life to live. 100. So salute to you. Appreciate that, Jay Downs. Peace.